All right, welcome back to Go and Grow Homestead, everybody. Last week, I was only able to put out one video, and then this week, the video that I'm putting out is coming very late on Saturday evening. So when you see this video, it'll be probably 3 or 4 more days after that. But life has been lifing, guys, and it has been an extremely busy summer. Not everything that's been going on has been good, but there's been a lot of good too. So between last week and this week, we've had a lot going on with family visiting. I had a little bit of mine. Dave has a lot of his family here up from the south. They come every summer for about a month, and we're having a lot of fun with them. And of course, we had Father's Day in there. We went and saw my dad. We spent some time with Dave's dad and his family, and that was also great. But in addition to all of those things, I've had to continue to work from home every day with Daniel in the background. I get some help from Dave on the days that he works at home, but that's only 2 days a week. So it's been incredibly challenging, and Daniel is actually extremely bored and extremely active this summer. Both of our jobs have been extremely heavy with work as well, so that's just added to that Monday through Friday stress. And then, as you can see, we have a bit of an unexpected project that came up. This is not something that we chose or wanted to do at all. In today's video, you're going to learn all about that and part of what's making our summer more difficult and certainly much more expensive than planned. So it's been about a 6-week journey now, with the plumbing company making several visits, the health department making a visit, everyone coming up with a plan for installing a brand new septic and drain line system. About 6 weeks ago, we had some water back up into the basement. It was sewage, and we were just kind of confused by that. We had just had the septic pumped in the fall, so it should have been good to go for that average 3 years. So I called them and said, hey, this is what's going on. They're like, oh yeah, we just did a pump out. It's probably just a clog somewhere along the way. And we said, okay, great. They sent someone out, and unfortunately, it was not a clog. Unfortunate, but this is what you deal with as a homeowner. But also, I feel like our generation is getting stuck with the homes that need all of the maintenance. Unless you're in a tax bracket that you can buy a brand new build, and there are those people out there, but that's not anyone I know. So we're all buying these aging homes that need a whole lot of work, and it's not just siding and roofs. There's that. But it's also things like this, the really important systems of the home that are also some of the most expensive to deal with. So this is what we're dealing with right now. And it is pricey. It was going to be worse, but thank goodness one of the guys who came out was like, hey, let me check another area of the property to see if that has the right kind of soil for putting in the new drain line system. And I'm so glad he did, because that probably saved us $10,000 off the price. But yeah, it's not surprising. When we moved in, our realtor and the seller's realtor, we were all having a really hard time determining where the drain lines were. And at inspection, they were like, what's going on with this here? So it is about a 40-year-old system. So unfortunately, it's just time to do that. And over time, living here, we discovered that the drain line basically goes over 200 feet into the woods. The woods wasn't here when they put it in, obviously. All of this that you kind of see behind me hadn't grown up and wasn't here. And then farther that way where it goes, all of that, which is woods right now, was not here. Thankfully, we kind of noted some things and wondered about this when we were putting the chicken coop in, which is directly behind where the camera is at right now. The drain line kind of runs where this part of the yard anyway, runs right in front of me, about halfway between where the camera is and where I'm standing right now, and then kind of goes off that way even further. So thankfully, we did not build the coop over the drain lines, but it's in that vicinity. And basically, yeah, we have the pump outs that we've discovered in the brush and the weeds and the wooded areas. They have water filling up around them, so it's not good. Everything's broken. We assume tree roots, of course, certainly have cracked and caused the lines to fail, but also it's just time, unfortunately. The tank itself actually was in good shape, but being that it is 40 years old and being with the health department rules in our county, you can't just reuse the same one. Our company told us that, and they said, the health department probably won't approve that, but let's see what it looks like, what type it is, what's the condition, and then we'll go from there. So health department dictated that. So it's kind of like, it was about $10,000 for each operation for the new the new septic and then the new drain lines. However, something that knocked almost $4,000 off the price of getting this work done was doing this part ourselves. So when they discovered that this was going to be the best area to put the new drain line system, obviously this is another part of our property that's heavily wooded, and they're like, okay, this is what it's going to cost to have us clear this. And we said, take that off. We're going to just do it ourselves now. So we've had a lot of help from my father-in-law. My husband's been out here working really hard, and appreciate that help from the father-in-law because this is a huge undertaking. And honestly, we need more than 2 guys working on it, but they've made significant headway here and done a lot of really amazing work, and we're going to get it all done. I think it's about another week and a half before they come out. So we've got time, and they're staying on pace with their schedule. And most of what we need to cut down in terms of large trees is down. It's just a matter of finishing, getting all of this cut up and moved out of the area and off the ground. So that's just some of the things you're going to see in today's video, just kind of an update on that and a little bit more on the turkeys. We're focusing on the turkeys this week because they're really cute. I think they're about 11 weeks old now. It's one of the last things that I'm able to keep track of at the moment, but they're doing fine. They're doing great. Chickens are doing good. It's just the people at the homestead that are a little bit stressed out right now. But thanks again for coming along today, and I hope you find this entertaining, educational. If you want to send up some prayers for our situation, we'd certainly appreciate that everything goes smoothly from here on out. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share the channel, share this video. That helps us grow. Thanks and have a good one. Well, you guys are hilarious. You don't like the sound of the tractor? You gonna run to Mama? Hi. Yeah? So there are 2 trails, well, there were. Kind of right there's the entrance to one side of the trail, and then the other one you can see. But it's this whole section right here that needs to be cleared out. And looks like my husband dug up a lot of boulders already. That's amazing. We have so many cool rocks on this property. You don't like tractor noises? No? And so here is one of the part of the drain field pump out where it's clearly failed. And then here's where the new drain field is going to go. This is amazing. There's a lot of debris back in here. They had stacked some old treated wood fencing in here, whatever that thing used to be. Some pipe that was concreted into the ground, and then they cut off the pipe and just left that. Oh, here's some of those old fence boards. And of course, an old tire. You can never have too many of those on your wooded property, right? Stuck up there with those vines. Look at that vine. That's crazy. So this is that other trail. If you go to the right, it goes down to the garden. To the left goes to the compost pile, and this was just something that was easy to mow and maintain. It didn't have any trees growing exactly right here. Here's kind of the other view of this section that Dave is clearing out. All right, and here is where the current original septic tank is. It sits at kind of a weird angle in a certain spot in our yard, and these are the 2 lids for pump outs as needed. And then right out in front of that, they originally were suggesting, something that makes a whole lot of sense, which is to put the new, well, they'll install a new tank, but then put the new drain field right out in front of it. We were thinking we might need to clear a little bit of this section of woods, push it back a few more feet. But the soil here was not good. I guess it was more heavy and clay-like and what have you, but we were out here when they dug a really deep hole to test the soil and see if it was the kind that you want and need for a drain field, and it wasn't. So we will still have a drain field that kind of starts going this way, like that one did. That's just a post for a planter. And then the drain field will end over here, which is a lot better than way behind the coop and then another I don't know how many yards into the woods beyond that. What do you guys think? Were you supervising the tree cutting? How'd the guys do? There's a strange creature on the homestead. It's got the turkeys and a couple of chickens curious.